It's still spinning. All right, now we're live. Okay, so happy Wednesday, Ben. Ben's back. Happy Wednesday and cheers. Do you remember how to do this?
Be back.
Yes, we missed you. I missed you desperately. Dave did a phenomenal job. Dave was our guest for a couple of the Wednesdays, but happy Wednesday. Happy Ben. So nice to see you back. And you're in purple. I love purple. So cheers. I'm pouring I got the 19 Russian River in my glass. I think that's what you have in your glass too, because it is Spring Wine Club time. We just released our Spring Wine Club last month. So all our wine club members out there, you hopefully have this. We thought, why not have our special guest as our wine today? And Ben and I drank a lot of wine last night because we do an unboxing and uncorking. So if you're a wine club member, you can join us on Zoom. We give you 2 opportunities, and we'll go through all of the 19s that are in that club. Listen to Ben. Dave, our assistant winemaker, was on too. Listen to you guys chat and talk. And so we had that last night. We're doing it again. And let me tell you, this is actually still drinking as good as it was my bottle last night. So cheers.
Cheers. And so as we taste them, you don't necessarily have to open the 19s, but we'll taste them for you and give you the tasting notes and give you our opinion of them. If you want to join and drink along with us, that's great. But that way you can hold them another year or 2 if you like. It all depends on how you want to deal with it. But we'll be glad to give you our opinions and taste and what we said about the wines for our tasting notes.
And I'm happy to always drink wine for anybody out there. I just want to throw that out there that I am willing to take that sacrifice. Eat cheese, eat chocolate, salumi, whatever it is, as well. I'm happy to do all
Salumi.
I'm trying to figure out the salami, the plural, the not, and I tried to write it down so I get a thing, but I still can't seem to get it right. But happy April Fool's Day, happy Easter, happy Passover, happy everything. April is a great month. Sonoma County just went into the orange tier today, so we could not be more excited about being able to open some indoor spacing. I'm not sure if we're doing that at the winery, but we are open outside. So we're just super excited. We get to see everybody. We get to see you this way. We get to see you in person. We get to see you on our virtuals. We just get to see everybody, and I'm thrilled. So Ben, you're back. I'm so happy you're back.
Yeah.
Back in time for 19s, which is exciting. And let's talk a little bit about this 19 Russian River Vineyard is the wine we're tasting tonight.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about the vintage first before we talk about the wine, kind of give us a little kickstart. So just to let you know, we picked our first fruit on September 4th of 2019. And we picked our last grapes, which was the Timbercrest Zinfandel, on September 24th. So we did a total of about 142 tons. And that was just before the 2019 fire started on October 24th. So for us, we were all locked up, and all our wine was basically finished or just finishing up fermentation, headed for the barrel. So and I was headed for Hawaii. So that we were very fortunate for that fire. But a little bit about the vintage itself. The Sonoma County Vintners announced this year's harvest produced outstanding grapes, and wine lovers look forward to world-class wines. With Mother Nature's support, the 2019 growing season provided fantastic grape growing conditions. Although we had a lot of rain in 19 with the flooding in the lower Russian River, at least it recharged some of the groundwater. As a result, the wine enthusiasts should mark their calendars now to gather Sonoma County to taste the vintages beginning in 2020, and that's what we're tasting now in 2021. This has been a nearly ideal growing season for Sonoma County. There was just the right amount of heat early in the growing season to acclimate the grapes. Mild temperatures continued through the season and offered superior flavor development. We did experience late rains in May. That benefited the wine growers for sure, the grape growers. This was followed by a series of warm days that carried out through September. The result is outstanding fruit ready for harvest. So it near perfect vintage for us.
I agree. Like I said, we were tasting these 19s last night, and if you've ever met me, you've come to the winery, you know I like older wine, I like library wine, but unfortunately, when you release the wine, I really like it then too. These are tasting great. They're going to last a while. We're just talking about the ageability and which wines of ours you should age versus drink now, which is actually kind of fun because we're going to do the Russian River and we're going to do the Pommard Clones. So we've got two on either end, which I think is fun about it. And what else was I going to say about Russian River? Oh, a blend of 5 vineyards. So the 5 vineyards that are in here are Peters, Nunez. Am I saying these?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, crap. Peters, Nunez, Laris, Booker, Vinoy.
Not Vinoy.
What did I miss?
Sweeney.
Oh, I meant to say Sweeney.
Yes.
They sound alike. So I can say, okay, Sweeney. Okay, so I screwed up. You know what? I should have had the tasting notes in front of me. So 5 vineyards. We had the Bookers on a few weeks ago. They were our guests for our Wine Wednesday. And that's usually the first of the grapes we pick. They're over in Russian River. Obviously, it's all Russian River fruit. He was talking about the fact that he had wanted originally to plant raspberries and be the raspberry king of Sonoma County, which raspberry is a component of Pinot Noir.
So actually, we get one of the blocks we get for our Pommard is the raspberry block.
Go bigger. And he said he started making Pommard because he loved your Pommard so much that he started making Pommard because he thought it was amazing. We'll get to Pommard in a minute, but Russian River. This has Pommard in it too, right?
Yeah, it has. So what we do is we as we get each vineyard in, each vineyard grows between 3 and 6 different clones, and we don't pick all the clones the same day. So as we decide to pick a vineyard, we'll pick 1 clone at a time as they ripen. So they come in and we process them and ferment them, and as they finish up, we press them and put them into barrel by clone. So at the end of the time, we have each vineyard, each clone is separate. So Kristen and the tasting room will tell us how many for each lot we need. So for example, we need 700 cases of Laris or 900 cases of Laris. So we might have enough to make 1,200 cases. So the extra 300 cases of fruit that's still in liquid form, we use that for the Russian River. It's the same style we make, but once we in spring when we put our blends together, we'll take each vineyard and the different component parts. We'll put it together to best show how that vineyard designate tastes like, and the parts that are left over will go into the Russian River. So up until then, the wine is in 50% new oak and 50% 1 and 2 oak. Once we break it down into the Russian River and the Sonoma Coast, if we make that gets a little less new oak. So we'll give it a third new oak, a third 1-year-old, and a third 2-year-old.
Because we don't always make a Sonoma Coast. So sometimes we have a Sonoma Coast and a Russian River. We do this year. Don't worry, folks.
It depends.
Keep going.
It depends on how big the harvest is. Some years it's huge, like in 2012. Then a few years later, 2015, it was very, very small. So that kind of dictates also to how big each lot is and whether or not we make a Sonoma Coast or not. So we depend a lot on Mother Nature to determine those kind of things for us.
It's true. It's nice that she can make those decisions for you. I know for me, I always joke that my favorite Papa Pietro Perry wine is the one in my glass because it always is. I always am like, oh, that one's good. That one's good too. But the Russian River, while it may not be the most consistent, I guess, here or there because it's going to change based on quantity and what goes in it, I always get that nice, easy fruit, perfect acids, nice balance. It's I love the Russian River, and I think it ages beautifully But last night on our unboxing and uncorking, you guys were telling me that probably the Pommard Charles Campbell tend to not need a little bit more time, but benefit a little more with age. But I know I've stolen back some of your older Russian River Sonoma Coast, and they're delicious with age. So what do you think age is, or where's my sweet spot is 5 to 7 years from vintage date. I'm not scared to go beyond it. What's your sweet spot?
Well, I even a little younger because I like the fresh fruit, and I think that's the beauty of Pinot Noir. You can drink it. We hold that, as Dave said yesterday, we hold in the barrel for a year, and then after that we hold it in the warehouse under good conditions. We have a refrigerated warehouse, so we hold our wines there for another year or so before we first start running them out. And if you come into the tasting room right now, we're tasting what, 17s?
Yeah, we're on the end of 17s, but we've got 17. So yeah, this won't even. So the 19s just came out to our spring wine club, which was released last month. You're not a club member, join. You can, you too can be drinking this. But our, so those just got sent out last month. People are just now getting them. And I know some of our members take that box, they put it away. It will not see the light of day for another couple of years because they always age it and they've got a rotation going. Other members of ours, I swear, meet the delivery driver at the door with a glass of wine and a cork opener. They're ready to go. So they probably already drank their Russian River as well. So it goes both ways, and it's fun for us tasting these. We taste these once with the staff upon release, prior to release, so they all know what they're getting into. And then I am lucky enough I get to sit here and drink them with Ben as well. Thank you, everybody out there, for letting me do this. Because it is fun with the younger wines, and they are still balanced and amazing from the get-go. Then as they age, they stay balanced and amazing, and I'm loving it. I think it's great.
So what we do also is, out of the whole lineup, we'll taste all the wines and figure out which the first ones that are drinking, and then some of them we decide is not quite ready to release yet, and we'll hold those for the fall release. Yeah, so a little bit about the 19s. If you look at the colors, they're very, very dark colors. We were very surprised how dark the colors are. Usually we're not afraid of a little lighter colored Pinot Noir, but the 19s has beautiful, beautiful colors to them. And
what would make them have a darker color? Obviously the skins, but they weren't on the skins any longer.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the coolness also.
Okay.
This was a warm but not hot vintage, so the warmer the grapes are too hot, sometimes we get into really over 100-degree weather is not that great, and it kind of takes the color out of the skins a bit, I think.
Okay.
But cooler, I think the cooler weather gives a little darker skin colors, but I can't prove that by science.
I'm going to go with it.
That's my observation.
Oh, Frankie wants you to come up with a drinkability chart. Yeah, but Frankie, the problem is everyone's palate's different. So I like the older vintages. Ben likes, most everybody at the winery actually likes the current vintage pouring. 17, 18s are what they're drinking. That's their sweet spot. I'm the anomaly there. Do you know what I guess the question is, what's your palate? Where's everybody's individual palates? Have they been able to drink younger, older wines and play around so much?
Well, I think Frankie's chart might be one of those round charts with a spinner on it, and you flick it, and it spins around, and whatever it lands on, 1 year or 3 year or whatever, because otherwise it's just shooting in the dark anyway, because that's about the best.
Fun. That could be totally fun. Flick the chart and come up, put some vintages on there, and then you got if you have a Coravin, woo, that's a party. Because I love side-by-siding vintages. That's really when you start kind of seeing where wine goes, and again, knowing your palate, which is super fun because it depends what I'm cooking and pairing. Ron, you're right. It does depend what you're cooking, what you're pairing. It depends who you're with. I know my sister's on here, but I have 4 sisters. Sorry, brother. I have 4 sisters. I don't always open up the good stuff for some sisters versus other sisters. So depends who you're drinking it with, too.
So I'd like to tell a little bit about the tasting notes. I'll just read the tasting notes. We just did these, so it's kind of interesting to read through them as we.
You did these in January.
Yeah. So my team and I, that would be Dave and Tyson and I, do all the tasting notes after we sit down and taste the wines and we write the tasting notes. And most you'll realize that these tasting notes are very similar from year to year. So when you read the Laris, geez, it's kind of like geez, didn't they write that last year? Well, it's kind of the way we make wine. I mean, we're very consistent with each one of the vineyard designates that they tend to taste pretty much the same. So the same qualities and same fruit textures and spice seems to come through from year to year. Sometimes you have a little warmer year, sometimes a little wetter year. We take that into considerations in the flavors, but generally speaking, they stay pretty consistent from year to year. So the 2019 produced some very spectacular wines for us, especially those produced in the Russian River Valley from Russian River Valley grapes. Our Russian River Valley blend starts with a burst of red fruit aromas. The palate offers concentrated layers of red fruit driven by ripe cherry, fresh raspberry with supporting flavors of black tea, minerality, and a kiss of barrel sweetness. Good depth, density, and polish confirmed the quality of this vintage and the vineyards that were used in it. And so almost all of the Pinots will have the cherry, either bean cherries or dark cherry or some kind of cherry, and raspberry. Even now we know that there's even a black raspberry.
There is you have to apologize to Tyson.
And some pomegranate and some strawberry, and those are generally consistent from year to year in the wines that we make.
I wonder if we made a juice blend with some pomegranate, some cherry, some strawberry, some of these in there. What wouldn't be nearly as delicious as wine, clearly, but I wonder how that would. I could feed that to my kids. How that would taste compared to the wines. Because the best way to pick them up is smell them, right?
You've tasted the Chardonnay right out of the press, and we use apple as a descriptor for the Chardonnay. And before it's fermented, it tastes just like apple juice, and you wouldn't consider that from a Chardonnay grape, but there it was, apple.
It literally tastes like you just popped some apples through a juicer. No, it is it is phenomenal. So what did you drink for we drank Chardonnay at Easter.
Yeah, we drank I thought we started with some sparkling wine, and then we went to
rosé.
We had rosé and Chardonnay, and for those heavy hitters, we pulled out some Pinot. But we drank kind of the lighter wines mostly because it wasn't a dinner, it was a brunch.
Now, and normally, so Easter traditions, because it was just Easter or Passover or whatever holiday it is during that time. Easter traditions. Do you have Easter traditions?
Yeah, usually the tradition is we have about between 30 or 40 people for Easter, and usually if the weather is great, we have a huge area, the yard and the front and back of the house to hide eggs, and we have all the kids. We get lots of kids in the family, so we do the Easter egg hunts and that traditional, and then we usually and sometimes it's so warm we open a swimming pool and the kids go swimming, and then we have dinner, and usually we have a big a big buffet with everybody, 30 or so people.
You a big family?
It was very small. We just had just a very small group of people for Easter brunch, which was, at least we're getting started and opened up. I was so pleased to see people for a change.
It was nice seeing more than one person. It is very important if you do Easter egg hunts out there and they're hard-boiled eggs, count them before so you can count them after and you're not surprised. But I think they left a couple eggs in your house, right? They couldn't find them all.
Well, we'll find them. We'll smell them in a couple of weeks.
So how old are your grandsons?
13 and 10.
Okay, so 13 and 10. his grandsons and my sons, I've got 17 and 14, all hang out together. Julia, his grandson's mom, I guess, his daughter, we came over us. We hid 76 eggs at my house. They could only find like 73 or 74. So I do have eggs, plastic eggs, at my house somewhere in the backyard. I don't know where they are, but whatever. I don't hard boiled for that very reason. Otherwise, I'm going to get, I don't know what in my house. But let's see. So that's Easter. April Fool's Day was just here. I'm a huge April Fool's Day prank. And yeah, Dan, if you did that video, I am going to show that video a little bit after. April Fools, did you do anything for April Fools? Bruce and Renee's wedding anniversary is on April Fools because they were fools for love. So they got married. I don't know what year they just celebrated. Do you?
20-something. 24.
20 lots?
Yeah, 20-something.
And they were together 10 years before they got married. So still going strong. But happy anniversary to them. Any April?
Maybe it's 30-something. I don't know. It was before we started our winery. So.
Oh, well, that's over 20-something.
Yeah.
Well, if Renee was on, she could tell us, but I don't think she's on. So Renee, we'll give you credit for 35 years. How about that? Let's just make it. Well, that sounds good. Sounds good to me. How long have you been married?
44 years.
Say it with a smile. Yolanda's watching. There you go. Good job.
Yeah, no, we're still talking, which is a great thing, you know.
Is that what you call that?
Well, yeah. Well, I can't pull any. We pulled enough April Fool's Days. I can't fool her anymore.
No, you can't fool her anymore. Well, clearly I'm single, so I should not even be talking about any of weddings. But good job, both of you guys. Amazing. Cheers to you. I poured myself some Pommard.
I guess
if you guys are in it for the long haul, I'm going to go to Pommard for you guys. And oh my God, this smells amazing. The 19 Pommard.
Yeah, the Pommard is always a perennial favorite of mine. I love the Pommard is one of the oldest grown grapes in the Russian River Valley. It's known here as the workhorse of Russian River. The French have a interesting way to describe the grape itself. The Pommard grape is a iron fist in a velvet glove, which means it's a very powerful grape, but it finishes off very velvety. So you get big fruit, big wine that finishes soft and velvety. So that's one of my favorites, and I've said it often that when we were tasting the two vineyards that we originally started with one evening at Bruce's house, we were tasting the different clones from those two Peters and Laris vineyards, and the last ones we were tasting were the two Pommards, and we liked them both. And each one, the Pommards were very good. And then at the end of the evening, didn't even think about it, just took the two glasses and poured them back and forth together and mixed the two Pommards together. And it was spectacularly better than just either of the single ones. So that gave me a hint. I went back to the winery and started fooling around with the blend of Pommard. And the first year we released it in 2003, the Wine Spectator gave it like 94 points. And we've decided to keep that in our lineup, and we've added the Buchner family. So now it's the Pommard from the three vineyards: Peters, Laris, and Buchner.
Oh, so that's the three, yeah. And Frankie, one of Frankie's favorites, one of Ron's favorite. It's our go-to wine. And by the way, Ron just showed us up for Easter. First family Easter dinner: ravioli, sausage, meatballs, pizza rustica, and tiramisu. Ron, I'm not going to say that last bit you said because he said Italian wines on Staten Island. Very nice. It's nice everyone's getting back in. I'm liking that. This 19 Pommard, normally I lay my Pommard down, but this is drinking beautifully. It's got some complexity. The Russian River didn't quite have. I just keep smelling wine. I forget to drink it sometimes.
Yeah, it's very seductive. You put your nose in there, and it makes you want to put your nose back in there again. It just very fulfilling without even really tasting it.
I always joke they need to make perfumes
for
the wines.
So a little bit about the tasting notes for the 2019 Pommard reflects the excellent lots of wine that went into this blend. a complex nose of red and purple fruit wrapped around warm baking spice. And you really get that baking spice in there, you know. And the palate reveals black cherry, raspberry, and strawberry framed with medium acidity and integrated oak. I'm tongue-tied today.
It's okay. We'll still take it.
The wine opens nuanced, purple fruit, fresh plum, and blackberry emerge. And the blackberry, I really get that in the finish. Well-balanced wine delivers velvety, complex flavors, long, expansive finish. And that, when you taste it, you keep tasting it, and that finish keeps going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going. And going.
It does, and then the minute it leaves, you have to take another sip because you want another sip. Again, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to do a confession right now to everybody out there, because Ben and I did the unboxing and uncorking last night, and we opened 5 bottles of our Pinot Noir last night. I will be honest. I put the cork back in it, put this in the fridge, and I reopened it, and it is stunning. So for those of you who think, A, I'm not embarrassed I didn't finish a bottle of wine because that was my 5th bottle. Number 1. And that's to you, Jennifer, if you're on here. Number 2, when you think, oh, wine is only good for one night, or I have to drink it, or what do I do, or Coravin, of course, or pump, you can do all of those things, of course. But if you're going to drink it the next day, you can stick a cork in it. You can stick it in the fridge. Fridge slows down aging, right? And this is stunning, and it's got that little slight chill that I like. So it is phenomenal the next day. Some people think wines can't last the next day or aren't as good. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes, dang it, they are.
They really do open up with a day or two. They really, really show even better. That's some part of the aeration. You could put it, decant it to aerate it. I just pour it in my glass, and that aerates it enough for me. So
yeah, swirl, swirl, swirl. Your daughter is asking, obviously, clearly we know it's a Tommy Bahama shirt you're wearing, but is it a purple Pinot Tommy Bahama shirt?
It's a purple Pinot, yeah.
It's a purple Pinot. Purple Pinot people here?
It just has these really nice patterns on it.
It does. I can see the patterns. I was wearing purple last night, so Ben is.
I get jealous. I like that purple color.
Yeah, and my sister's saying wine can be drunk the next day. Yeah, I can, Jennifer, but you should finish at least 1 bottle a night. Ron, don't forget your great rosé. Ron, Last Call Rosé. Guys, if you're not club members too, now you know the secret. Last Call Rosé, we literally have about 15 cases of rosé left. We released it in January, 420 cases. It is almost gone. You guys are fools for so much fools for rosé. We are doing a rosé all day club where you can guarantee now some rosé every single April. We're moving the release date to April. So, Frankie uses a Corvette and a fridge. Well done, Frankie. You already, I don't have to teach you anything. He's already got everything. He is good. Let's see, what else do we have? So I do an Easter tradition. Since we have 2 minutes left, my Easter tradition is egg roulette. I stole it from Jimmy Kimmel. Or who's the other guy? There's another guy too. Not Jimmy Kimmel, was the other guy. I forget his name, but I stole it from him. What you do is you get a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, and you leave some raw ones in there. And you sit the boys in a circle, or your kids in a circle, or whomever in a circle. They must pick an egg. They cannot put it back down, and they must smash it on their head. And whoever in my house, whoever gets the most raw eggs wins. So I was able to download it. Oh, Fallon, thank you, Jen. Jimmy Fallon, is that his name? Fallon stole it. So I'm going to show you guys, because I'm going to bore you and show off my kids. My kids are in this. Ben's grandkids are in this. They're Marcello and Vincent. They're going to be number 2 and the last one in the group. And then my neighbor kids, I introduced them. So this is my Easter tradition. And yes, I was drinking wine while they did this. Here you go.
Hard boiled.
Okay, so let's make eggs with it.
Okay, no, Marcello. We go clockwise.
What?
You're screwed. Vincent.
That hurts.
All right, Vincent, grab one.
You guys crack it, just put it right back in the middle, and we'll see what's salvageable.
Vincent, your turn.
I mean, I don't want to hear
Takes the egg.
Tayson.
I know.
Harder.
Yeah, I know, right? It hurts.
Oh my
It hurts.
god.
So that was hard boiled.
Yes.
Okay, put it next to you. Thank you. You didn't even hardly crack it. All right, Hudson, go.
Oh my god, it hurts.
Yeah,
No, it-
starting now you have to at least crack.
Oh, well, I apparently only downloaded part of it. Sorry. So we had like 40 eggs. Long story short, Marcello at the end got the raw egg on his head, and but he didn't win because the little girl got 3 raw eggs. So super fun to do. The dog loves it because he eats all the raw eggs. No, you're fine. So anyways, let's see. Eager to attend Lobster Fest again. Gary, we are hoping 2022 to be able to bring back the Lobster Fest. I think we're just not quite ready to do large group gatherings. And then unfortunately we go into harvest, and then Ben says we can't do anything because, he has to make wine.
All the space is taken up then.
All the space is taken up then. No, you're right. So let's see. Couple things coming up. If you are we have wine and trivia coming up tomorrow night. If you've already joined and signed up, you're going to jump onto our wine and trivia that we are doing virtually because, we're the virtual place to be. We've got next week, Chef Jim May on with Perfectly Paired Wednesday at 4 p.m. He is making springtime risotto with roasted mushrooms and journeyman salumi. Maybe it's 2 salumis, I don't know. But then if you like the salumis, Journeyman is phenomenal. Let's see, April 24th, we're doing a wine and salumi event. You join, you get some salumis, you get some wine, you get us. I mean, what else do you want to do on a 24th of April? I think that's a Saturday. Wine, cheese, and chocolate. We have our 4th one coming up. These are amazing thing chocolate cheesecake. Those are good. Have you guys done a wine, cheese, and chocolate?
I've sat through them twice, I think.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really liked you'd be surprised how well they all go together,
Really? Yeah, no, you really do. It's a local chocolatier, and then it's Laura Chanel, Marin French. They do a great job. Pinot and Magic. We've got a magician that we brought on. We're going to pair with Pinot. Only magician trick I can do is making this wine disappear. Watch that, and that's the only thing I can do for that one. And then I think those are the upcoming virtual events. And in 2 weeks' time, Ben and I are going to be back with Kohana Rum. Ooh, I don't know if you can see this. Kohana Rum. They're a rum agricole out of Hawaii. Ben mentioned Hawaii earlier because they use our Pinot Noir barrels to help make their rum. So incredible. Ben's going to join me on that on the 21st, if I'm correct. We'll be back. But again, first and third Wednesday, every Wednesday, Ben and I are on live here. We'd love you to join us because this is how we get to drink wine. I love it.
We enjoy seeing everyone.
We do enjoy seeing everyone. And Ben, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad. Dave did a great job, of course, but I'm glad you're back. So cheers.
Cheers.
Remember to do this? Other way, cheers. And clink, clink, clink. There we go.
We got our great Riedel glasses going.
We do. All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy hump day.